Hello and welcome to a new video of Meneer Schoolmeesters. In this video I'm about to tell you about insurances. And insurances are dealt with in chapter 8 of the book Buying and Working from the publisher LWEO. And an insurance is something that someone can take out if you run the risk of something happening which has financial consequences. So for example, I own my own house. The risk of my house burning down is there, so I want to be insured so that I have a sum of money if my house does burn down so that I can rebuild it. Yes? So I can't avoid the risk, but I can avoid the financial consequences of the risk from happening. Alright, so the reason that I'm insured is because I have a risk aversion. I don't like running risks. And because of that, and along with me, there's a lot of people who don't like to run risks. Because of that, a lot of people came together and they spread their risks. So what happens is that we, as a big group, we donate a sum of money so that if someone from the group suffers a risk and the financial consequences of that risk, then he or she gets paid out of that sum of money. There are two flavors of insurances, group insurances and private insurances. Group insurances, you are obliged by the government to take that insurance. So an insurance for unemployment if you work, for example. And a private insurance, you can decide for yourself whether you want to take one or not. So, how does one calculate a premium? I'm trying to explain to you by using two boroughs in a city. The first one is a stone borough where there are 1,000 houses made of stone bricks, and the other one is the wood borough, and there are 1,000 houses as well made of wood. In the stone borough, each house costs 200,000 euros. There are 2 houses that burn down per year, and in the wood borough there are 4 houses that burn down per year, and also these houses are worth 200,000 euros. So, what happens if the wood borough decided to start their own insurance company? So what happens is that the damage in total is 400,000 euros because there's 2 houses burning down, yes, and they cost 200,000 euros, which leads to 400,000 euros. So those people have to come up with 400,000 euros per year. Well, there's 1,000 people, households, yes, that have to come up with the money. So that means that each household has to pay the total damage divided by the number of people that are insured is 400 euros. The people from the wood borough, they decided to start their own insurance company as well. And what they did is they estimated the damages on 800,000 euros because there's 4 houses that burn down. Each house costs 200,000 euros. There's 1,000 people as well there. So that means 800,000 divided by 1,000 is 800 euros. The premium is determined by the height of the risk, namely 2 houses per year that burn down, which is 0.2%, and the height of the damages, in this case 200,000 per house. So 0.2% times 200,000 is 400 euros. If there's 2,000 houses in the stone borough, you would see that the premium would still be the same because the damages would not be 2 houses but 4 because there's 2 times as much houses, so that means 2 times as much fire as well. And that leads to 800,000 divided by 2,000 is 400 as well. So the number of people do not affect the height of the premium, only the risk and the damages do. Alright, so we saw that these have a lower premium than these. So the two, however, the 2 companies that they established decided to merge. They become one. So what happens then is that the total damage of those 2,000 houses of the stone borough and the wood borough is 1.2 million euros. Yes, namely 400,000 plus 800,000. The number of people insured is 2,000. So that means that everyone has to pay a premium of 600 euros. Well, to the people of the Wood Borough, that is good news, because they were used to paying 800 and now they pay only 600. For the people of the Stone Borough, that is bad news, because they used to pay 400 and now they pay 600. So their premium went up. And the people in the Stone Borough are the so-called good risks. And good risks are the risks that don't need the insurance policy that much. So they have a lower risk of an event happening. The people of the Wood Borough, they are the bad risks, because they need the insurance more often. And what happens is, you saw that these people from the Stone Borough, their premium went up by 50%, 200 euros. So what they say is, well, we go and seek our fortune elsewhere and we decide to leave this insurance company because we don't want to pay for the high risk of the Wood Borough. And that is called adverse selection. That means that the good risks, they leave because they have to pay more premium because of the bad risks that are also insured. What you could do is you could use premium differentiation, which means that some people pay another premium than others. So what this company could do is they could leave it like it was before. The people in the Stone Borough pay 400 euros, in the Wood Borough they pay 800 euros. Yes, so that's how you keep the good risks from leaving. Alright, so if you are insured, not necessarily with your house, but with your telephone, for example, you become less careful. Because if your telephone falls down and it breaks down, you get paid anyway. We call this moral hazard. And moral hazard is that you are less careful because you are insured anyway. Insurance companies don't really like that, because then they have to pay more often. And then the premium will go up in the end as well. So what happens is that insurance companies say the first part of your damage you have to pay for yourself. Yes? And that means that they pay less, so the premium can go down, and people are more careful. So, and the first part that you have to pay yourself is called the excess. Okay. Back to where we started. Insurances, risk aversion, I don't like risks. We have the premium is the damages divided by the number of people insured, or the chance of something happening, namely 0.2% multiplied by the damage per incident. Yeah, so there's two ways to calculate it. Then we have the good risk and bad risk, adverse selection, when good risks leave because they have to pay too much, and you can deal with that via premium differentiation. So hopefully you learned something, and you will do well on the test. And then if you do find this interesting, you can always subscribe. On the lower right hand side there's a button on which you can click, and then you can subscribe to my channel to see more videos in the future. So I would like to see you back real soon.